This is a formal response to Joshua Feuerstein's video in regards to the legalization of gay marriage throughout the United States. For those of you living under a rock, today, the Supreme Court of the United States has decided that gay marriage is now legal in all 50 states in the United States of America. This is something that the LGBT community has been asking for years, and I'm personally happy as hell and proud to live in an era where things like this are now a reality. Unfortunately, not everyone is happy. And Joshua Feuerstein, an outspoken critic of all things progressive, a online evangelist, I'll call him because there's very little else you can describe this guy as, has been criticizing the Supreme Court's decision all fucking day. Now, before I get into this completely, I want to give a little background. I was a practicing Christian for almost 24 years. I was raised a Lutheran, and up until my mid-teens, when I didn't have the time anymore to always go to church, I went to church every single Sunday. I was actively involved with activities for kids and youths and such in my church for years. And after I just didn't have the ability to continue going anymore because, life, school, all that kind of thing, I still maintained praying at home and all the stuff Christians do. But as I grew older, I grew further and further apart from Christianity because of guys like Josh Feuerstein, because of the hypocritical mentality that they possess. Josh, people are people. Whether they're homosexual, lesbian, trans, bisexual, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter the color of their skin or where they were born. Humans are humans. We're all equal on this planet. And it's funny that you can actually go out and say that the now equal rights they have to get married, just as straight couples have the right to get married, is an attack on your religion. Personally, what I think it is an allegory for you feeling it is an attack on you personally. Why do I say that? Because so many times in my life, I've met people like you who are bigoted against gay people, not because of their religious beliefs, but because they themselves are bigoted. They just use Christianity, or whatever their particular religion, as a smokescreen because they don't have the integrity, nay, the balls, to admit being a gigantic homophobe. Well, I watched your video, and frankly, I just couldn't watch too much of it because I couldn't stand seeing somebody that far in denial. You are a gigantic homophobe. It doesn't matter. Any of the religious shit that you put in there does not matter because it's doing nothing to disguise the fact that you just hate gay people and trans people and anyone who lives differently than you. Now, you'll say it's not an attack on them because they're different than you, but your argument states otherwise. You can say it until you're blue in the face that their differences, socially, let's say, make no business of yours. But the fact that you decided to go out online and do this video, it tells me differently. For years I encountered people like you, pastors, ministers, even just people I'd socialize with every so often at my church, who had no integrity to admit they just don't like anything different from what they're used to. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're not living in the year 15 anymore. You're living in the year 2015. And the mentality that you've derived and the morality that you've derived from your Bible is old hat. And it's been old hat for about 2,000 fucking years. People don't have the time in their lives anymore to listen to this fucking bullshit. They don't. I am no longer a Christian. I can't be. I can't sit there and tell myself that a loving God, a loving Christ, would actually harbor the level of indignity and the level of bigotry and small-mindedness that the followers of this religion espouse. There's no way. There's no fucking way that a divine entity could be attributed so many human attributes like hate, greed, envy, spite. It's almost like guys like you take their own shortcomings and imbue them into your deity so you can see a little bit of yourself in God. And that goes to say a lot about you, because it's not like you have a God complex at all. It's not like you see yourself as better than everyone else in the world. I'm actually glad that you're pissed. I'm glad that the notion of other people's happiness and their ability to be treated as equal people makes you angry. Because it's like pointing a neon sign at you 24/7, everywhere you go, that you are a fucking bigot. You're using the same justifications in your video for why the legalization of gay marriage is an attack on Christianity, using the same logic that racists use, race realists use, as to why minorities are inferior to whites. And I'm not taking you out of context. I'm not. It's exactly the same logic. All in all, you're an asshole. You are. You're insane. You're an asshole. And you're a bigot. But most of all, you are severely in denial. And hopefully one day you'll come to peace with what you are. And you'll look in a mirror and feel absolutely fucking disgusted that the happiness of other people makes you feel fucking sick. People like you used to make me sick. They used to make me feel just absolutely sick to the pit of my stomach that you could be so hateful. Now I just laugh at you. Because you're being pushed out of civilization and you don't know what the fuck to do. You're grabbing at everything, clamoring and just thrashing, trying to be relevant still. But you're not anymore. And I'm glad. Now, there's nothing wrong with people who are Christians. I'm not attacking people who believe Christianity. I have my problems with it. And I know enough about Christianity to have some serious fucking problems with it. But there are many, thousands, millions of Christians out there who too are happy that these people now have equality. They deserve a right to be happy. They don't deserve anything fucking less. And if you gave a shit, Mr. Feuerstein, about the Bible you so happily ejaculate all over the internet about, you'd understand that you as a Christian have a right to be happy for these people too. You don't harbor forgiveness in your heart. You don't harbor anything other than, look at me, I'm an outspoken Christian. Look at me, this is unnatural. I'm looking at you. And you know what I see? A fucking lunatic. You're an idiot. Through and through. And I'm glad that people like you are becoming less and less relevant in society, and that civilization is now starting to move away from you. Anyway, I'm some guy on the internet. I'm glad that as a country, we've finally gotten to this point. And really, there are a lot of problems that we still have as a nation. But I'm happy that we're starting to fucking address them finally. That something is finally being done about a lot of the inadequacies of the United States. But I'm just happy to live in an age where they're finally being addressed. They're finally they're not issues anymore. They're being taken care of. This is a major victory for the people of the United States. You know, there's nothing wrong with gay people. There's nothing wrong with it. If you think it's unnatural, you know what? Stop. Think about why you think it's unnatural. And if you keep coming back to religion, then think about why you think it's always going to come back to religion for you. It might be just because you have a personal bigotry towards gay people. There's nothing wrong with transgendered people. Some people are born into this world and they just don't feel that they were meant to be a male or a female. It's nothing inherently bad. People have the right to make choices for themselves. To take that away from them is fucking disgusting. Anyway, I'm some guy on the internet. So are you. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the video.